This video is about 10 common narcissistic traits everyone should recognize. Well, hey there, and welcome to the Appalachian Sage. I'm Hannah Cedars. Today I want to talk about something that affects far more people than most realize. When people hear the word narcissist, they usually think about a husband, wife, boyfriend, or girlfriend. But the truth is, narcissistic traits don't just affect marriages. They can affect families, friendships, workplaces, schools, churches, businesses, and just about anywhere people interact with one another. Now, before we begin, let me say something important. This video isn't about diagnosing anyone. Only a qualified mental health professional can diagnose a personality disorder. Today, we're simply talking about common patterns of behavior that, when they become consistent over time, can seriously damage relationships and the people around them. So let's look at 10 common narcissistic traits. Number 1, they rarely accept responsibility. One of the most recognizable traits is an unwillingness to admit fault. When something goes wrong, there always seems to be an excuse, another explanation, or another person to blame. Oh, it's the line leader's fault. He said he would do it. I did nothing wrong. Healthy people can say, I made a mistake. People with strong narcissistic traits often spend far more energy protecting their image than correcting their behavior. Number 2, they turn conversations around. You may begin discussing one issue, but somehow the conversation ends with you defending yourself because they turn to a totally different subject to get the spotlight off them. The original concern disappears, and suddenly you're explaining something completely unrelated. This often leaves people feeling confused and emotionally exhausted. Number 3, they react poorly to criticism. Even respectful suggestions or simple questions can be viewed as personal attacks. Depending where they are and who they are dealing with, they could go into a spastic, violent fit right before your eyes, right then and there, or they could go covert and pull out their passive aggression on a coworker by going to the boss and complaining about them behind their back. So yes, instead of discussing the issue calmly, they may become defensive, angry, dismissive, or shift the focus back onto someone else. Number 4, they lack genuine empathy. Empathy isn't simply hearing someone's pain, it's caring enough to understand it. Often these people cannot understand hurt, rejection, isolation, pain of any kind that they cause. They deny your own feelings when you tell them how they make you feel. Then, at times, someone with strong narcissistic traits may acknowledge your feelings with words, yet continue the same behavior without meaningful change. Number 5, everything revolves around them. Their needs, their schedule, their opinions, their priorities. Over time, other people begin shrinking themselves just to keep the peace. In fact, time goes by after others are shrinking to keep the narcissist feeling calm and in control, until one day people start realizing just how they have no say in anything if the narcissist is involved. Whereas healthy relationships make room for everyone. Number 6, they use silence as a weapon. Sometimes silence is simply someone needing time to think, but sometimes silence becomes punishment. Communication is withheld, affection disappears. The other person is left wondering what they did wrong. Instead of solving problems together, silence becomes a way to create anxiety and maintain control. Number 7, image matters more than character. Many people with strong narcissistic traits work very hard to appear kind, generous, successful, or respected in public. Meanwhile, the people closest to them often experience a completely different person behind closed doors. Character is who we are when no one else is watching. Number 8, they create division. Whether it's inside a family or workplace, people with strong narcissistic traits often leave conflict behind them. Coworkers begin blaming one another. Family members become divided. Friendships suffer. Instead of building trust, they often create confusion and competition. Number 9, they leave others walking on eggshells. Perhaps you've noticed yourself carefully choosing every word, avoiding certain topics, second-guessing simple questions. That's often a sign that the environment itself has become emotionally unsafe. Healthy relationships don't require you to constantly monitor every sentence before you speak. Number 10, you begin questioning yourself. This may be the most damaging trait of all. Over time, people exposed to these patterns often begin doubting their own memory, their judgment, their instincts, and even their own worth. No healthy relationship should leave you consistently questioning your own reality. Now, here's something I think is important to remember. These behaviors don't only affect homes, they affect businesses, schools, churches, volunteer organizations, community groups. Everywhere people work and live together. Coworkers may be getting a friendly side of them while they are going behind the coworkers' backs and complaining to the boss or literally lying about them to the boss. That's why it's so important for employers to recognize these patterns when building healthy teams. One person who consistently refuses accountability, blames coworkers, rewrites events, or creates division can damage the morale of an entire workplace. The same behaviors that create chaos inside a family can create chaos inside an office. I'm going to give you 2 more traits that are so important, I cannot leave them out. Number 11, they often seek validation outside the relationship. 1. Common behavior associated with strong narcissistic traits is an ongoing need for admiration, attention, and validation from other people. For some individuals, that may appear as constant flirting, emotional affairs, inappropriate workplace relationships, or sexual infidelity. Their focus is often on the excitement, attention, and immediate gratification they receive, while giving little thought to the lasting consequences their choices may have on others. The damage rarely stops with one relationship. Families are hurt, children are affected, marriages are destroyed, friendships are divided, and workplaces can become uncomfortable and unhealthy when coworkers are drawn into gossip, favoritism, inappropriate relationships, or broken trust. A person driven by constant validation often leaves emotional wreckage behind them because their immediate desires take priority over the well-being of the people around them. Healthy relationships require loyalty, respect, honesty, and self-control. When those qualities are repeatedly replaced by the pursuit of attention and admiration, everyone around them eventually pays the price. Number 12, they see people as tools, not relationships. Perhaps the saddest trait of all is that people often become valued only for what they can provide. As long as someone offers admiration, attention, status, money, favors, or emotional support, they are treated as important. But when they begin setting healthy boundaries, asking for accountability, or no longer serve a purpose, they may suddenly be ignored, criticized, replaced, or discarded. Healthy relationships value people for who they are. Unhealthy relationships value people for what they can provide. I hope this helps you to understand this truly devastating behavioral situation in all of our lives. This is Hannah Cedars, and I'm sending you well wishes and many blessings from the Appalachian sage.